good, everybody? What is good, yo? Ah, when we get these animes, man, it feels so good. But with sword art this week, and I know I'm not really using swords, actually. Um, we really got to learn a lot about how sword skills, how certain things that you do throughout this world is truly the reasoning behind some of the bigger techniques, some of the cooler, unexplained things that happen amongst this world. And some of those things just simply being, just by having a powerful imagination, you can pretty much, look into a whole new fighting style of, mastery of it anyway, because some people they don't even have, some people literally are just a code. They're meant to see a certain way because they were programmed to do so. So to be able to have that as your basis and to still be able to think of things that will um, necessarily make you better and make much stronger than anything you've been learning so far, it makes a lot of sense to me that they're going in a route for these characters in this world to really be left up to the eyes of the viewers. And what I mean by that is not only are we seeing the change and the determination of Kimito. Well, I guess it's not really that much of a change. Like, he's just, being him. This is how he would have lived his life in this world. Um, I think it would have been a little bit different if, he didn't know what type of world he was leaving behind, which also I think he would have lost in this fight, hence the whole imagination scenario within this week's episode. Uh, Without him having those ties to all of those people he loves and cares about, this would not be the same fight with this guy, the first lieutenant of the first class guy, because pretty much he had the advantage the whole time, and just by really, uh, you know, I don't want to say he let his guard down, but he kind of was feeling himself, and coming from his first lieutenant, she's never beaten him, so he probably had the idea that she's probably told him about, never being able to beat him. Uh, Not only that, but oh, I missed that. Dang it. Not only that she's never really beat him, but the ability that he actually had was like one to take your blood and even make it his own, and like almost like a vampire type of blade. So it was really jumping into a lot of these aspects that imagine having all those different things at your fingertips, with just your ability alone by swinging the sword and stuff. Not to mention these abilities that Kimito could do back in the old game. I mean, well, they weren't necessarily moves that Kimito could do, but because he remembers them from the actual game, it's clear that they are moves he could have learned while being on the game. So to learn that he pretty much saw the evolution of his, not only just his game that he's from, but the fighting style that he used to, know from there has been evolved by this one guy. Why can't I do my special? Do the special. Do the thing. There it is. Uh, it's been evolved by one guy in the sense of he literally uh, has taken that ability to, um, he's taken the ability to learn the sword skills within the system, but then amplify it by a crap ton just because of the whole imagination debacle thing. So, um, that just goes to show me, and it continues to show that it continues to show that this series and this world that Kimito has been put into to live and reconnect his, motor skills and all that stuff because of what's happening to his body in the real world, this is actually helping him be okay. So knowing that, you also have to imagine that if something goes wrong in this world, he's he's just not gonna make it. Like Kimito is in a very rough spot actually, and to know that we could be seeing him change dramatically after this whole event's over is actually kind of crazy and something I want to either see or kind of get a glimpse of if it is the route they would go in this scenario. Because I mean, with a person losing that much and then rewriting it with the notion of, oh, I need to, practice my sword fighting and I better go out and collect water and all this different stuff like like a straight up NPC in a video game, and then all of a sudden you come back out. I mean, sure, he does remember quite a bit of things from the real world, so I guess the real notion is his real body, like him actually waking up, is the real thing that's still suffering from any type of loss or has any lasting damage. So even in the game, he kind of seems normal, like he already knows and who he is. He remembers everybody. All the people that supported him to make him stronger in this week's episode to gather that weird energy to make his sword longer. And then after his sword got longer, it also turned gold, which I don't think his sword has ever turned that color during his animations, like during his sword skills. So it should also tell you just how powerful all of a sudden he became once he started putting two and two together of who he should be thinking about or what he should be thinking about to push himself to a complete and another level of whatever he's at right now. He needed more. And if he didn't get more, he would have lost. So it's actually ridiculous to think how, powerful he got throughout just this one fight, and to imagine this is Kimito we're talking about, the black swordsman of, the the harem side, not guts, but this black swordsman is very adept to learning something even further in the future because of these past experiences. So this is putting us in a really good spot to understand where Kimito's going to find a newfound power to pretty much be able to protect these people and be able to fulfill on his promise with Homeboy, because now they need to make it to the top of the tower. And where I was going with this power and imagination and stuff like that in Sword Art is now with that being a part of the line, imagine the guy who came down on the dragon and took the girl away. Like imagine what he could have been packing, you know what I mean? Like this kid that we just saw Kimito fight was just literally a sword fighter, like he literally just practiced the style. Now give him some magic sword. Now give him a dragon, and give him some raw armor that even if he takes damage, he might not die. Um, all of those things, plus the skills that he has with the blade, that's pretty much what we can look forward to in the future of this show is knowing that regardless of what anybody tries to do now against like Kimito and all these people, there's a chance that they can really bring out something brand new to either save themselves or to um, better someone else's life, which we kind of saw with the flowers this week, having them, you know, bloom from the other flowers wanting to help and, all this weird stuff. But at the same time, it's not too weird because it's a game, it's a world that's being made up by people outside of it. And it kind of reminds me of Rick and Morty, when he's like, I built you. Like Rick literally made a world of people that, whatever he said was law, was God's said word, So that's what it kind of feels like what these guys are doing to these NPCs. And by Kimito being in there, he's overriding some of them to act like him, which he has free will, and sure they would never understand why he does the things he does, but that's what free will's supposed to be about. You're supposed to do things that you enjoy, and I think that's where this show is kind of going, is even the NPCs are getting to a part where they can literally do things that they shouldn't be able to do. One trains at times when he's not supposed to be training, and the other one is starting to follow a lot of what Kimito does, being his partner in crime. So, really interested to see how you guys are feeling about Sword Art. Let me know in the comments down below, or let me know if I got anything wrong, because it definitely helps my reviews out a lot more to understand uh, what I am putting out there to people. Not only put it out there, but if there's information from the manga and I just didn't get the information I needed, there's usually comments down below if you guys want to scroll down there. I'm not sure if it's going to happen all the time, but we usually have some good conversations about uh, if I got something like wrong, or if I was on close to something. Anything like that will be in the comments, so be careful for spoilers, but also have fun and share the knowledge with the anime people so we can all become stronger. Uh, but yeah, with that, everybody, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Fairy Tale supposedly comes out a little bit later, so expect to see that. If not, then yeah, I'll probably post it tomorrow if it does come out and it's late. I'll definitely have it up. So just have your notification bell on and you'll be notified instantly when I put that up. So with that, everybody, take care and I will talk to you in the next one. All right, all right, my animals. All right, my anime people. Talk to you later. Peace.